I'm on the way up. Yeah, been a long, long time coming, but I'm on the way up. Been a long, long time coming, but I'm on the way up.
Welcome everybody, this is Phil Becker with the Professional Painter and Decorator, and welcome to the channel. If you don't know what I'm all about painting and decorating, and this video today is no exception. What I'm going to be talking about, I'm not going to be talking about brushes, I want to be talking about some basic tools. 5 basic tools, quite possibly 6, but 5 basic tools that will help you start your painting and decorating job or even career. Now these are the tools that as an apprentice I walked into W. Robinson's of Nottingham, which is now the Dulux Decorator Centre at Bobber's Mill, and we walked into there. My father took me in and he says, we've got to get you some tools to start off your toolbox, and I'm going to be touching on some tools that are very similar to what I started with back in 1990 when I started my painting and decorating career. So I'm going to move the camera around and I'm going to show you what we've got. Now I'm going to make it clear, I have bought these off Amazon, and if you want to buy the same tools, there is a link in the Amazon Associates link in the description below. And if you want to know the company that have actually bought them through on Amazon, it is the Dustpan and Brush company on Amazon. Now there's a link below, and clearly if you want to buy off Amazon and help the channel, please do that. So I'm going to move the camera around, I'm going to have a look what we've got. This should be a short and sweet one for you. And here we are. I'm off the camera, but you can see these 5 items here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we can all count. We've done GCSEs, haven't we, and O-levels if you're a little bit older. Now, these are some of the tools. Now, clearly, there's an array of tools that you can buy, but these are the basics I would say that somebody needs to purchase if they want to actually do some painting and decorating for the actual prep side of things and everything before you get to the painting side. Now, I'm just going to go from right to left. Right, these are all in packets. This is a kit that I've actually purchased, as I've said. It's from the Dustpan and Brush company that are on Amazon, and these have cost me about a tenner. They've not cost me too much. There's a link below, I've told you. Right, we're going to start with, this is a 4-inch 100mm stripping knife. Now this is in a packet. The stainless steel and the full tang and strong and durable, and this is a Harris. Now if you don't know about Harris are a subsidiary stroke part of the company of Hamilton, so this is still a quality branded product. Harris is more the stuff you might see in the B&Qs and the DIY outlets, but rest assured they are still a very good product. Now this is how fresh these are. I've actually got them still in the wrapper and I'm getting them out for you. Now, as it says, this is a stripping knife, so it's 4 inches wide. You can get them in different sizes, and we've got another one there in 3-inch, so let's take that one out. Very, very similar. We're just looking at a different size. Now, proper stainless steel, you've got a hardwood decent handle, and you can see it is a one piece of metal going all the way through, which is very nice. This to me is what you'd call, what you'd expect a professional to be using. You can see, if you can just get it angled, we have an edge there that allows you to strip things. Now when we say about stripping things, we're not about stripping clothing off or anything. We're talking about stripping wallpaper. Now with that angle of cut bevel, however you want to call it, you would be able to strip things off a surface, whether it be old flaky paint or wallpaper. Now, this, different sizes. As I say, you can get these all in different sizes. You can get them in smaller sizes. And if I drop down to this one, which is actually classed as a chisel knife, you can also use that for stripping as well. So you've got a chisel knife there, which you can see is 1.5 inches. What would you use this for? You can use this for helping you doing your filling. You can strip things. You can chop away at things. This will also help you if you're doing puttying up, and we're going to come on to that in a moment. I'll put that down because we're still talking about stripping knives. So we've got a 3-inch and a 4-inch. You can see the difference there. And we have a side of the blade that's slightly tapered off to being flatter. Now these you can also use for mixing up your filler, and with them being solid you can use them for applying filler, but if you are talking about applying filler to a surface, you would probably want one that's called a filling knife. And what you're going to say to me, Phil, they're virtually exactly the same. Well, yes they are, but the difference is with the filling knife you can see a lot flexible. What I would say to you is that is a 2-inch. Again, we've got the stainless steel, we've got the full tang, which is all to do with the tanging, very tangy, strong and flexible. This is what you need for smoothing over walls. Now if you can just see I've got my wall at the back, that will float out your filler really nicely, whereas the ones that are stiff, they're not going to float out your filler as easily. But that is classed as a stripping knife. You can use it for whatever you want, whatever you feel is most suitable for the job that you're actually doing. But for scraping things, that is ideal. For removing wallpaper, backing of wallpaper, make sure that you soak in the wallpaper if you are stripping it, some hot soapy water, and just let the water do the work. These are ideal. But as I keep telling you, you might want a thinner one, you might want a thicker one, because you can get them in different sizes. Same with the actual filling knife. That's only a 2-inch, but you can get 4-inch and you can get 3-inch filling knives, all with that flexibility. And again, going back to the chisel knife, that can also be used because it is narrower. That's 1.5 inches for the areas that these all don't get into. So your chisel knife could be used for stripping. It could also be used for applying filler as well. But what you notice with the chisel knife, can you see the end aren't like these? There you go. See how fat that chisel knife is? Because the chisel knife's used for chiseling. You can see the difference on these lot. Yeah. Right, the next thing I'm going to come on to, which you don't see much of. This is a proper putty knife. This is what I've got. This is in my pocket of my overalls all the time. And this is what people who know would say, that is a putty knife. This is for puttying up windows. But, I'm going to put a big but on it. For me, this is the tool that I have in my pocket every single day. This is like a multi-tool to me. There's a point on the end, there's a curved edge, there's a flat edge. This can be helping you strip wallpaper. If you've got thick, heavy, blown vinyls, wood chips, things that are very awkward to get scrapers underneath, that point under there can actually get under wallpaper and the likes and start stripping for you. It's a nice tool to have in your hand, and you can push it along and start removing wallpaper before you start getting out the wider stripping knife tools. I'm also going to say to you on these are used for puttying up. If you know how to do puttying up of a window, this is what a traditional putty knife actually is. But mine, the one I've got, and I've got one very similar to this, mine is worn down. Now if you can actually see the thickness of that blade there, there's not much flex to it. Depending on the brand, you could get them slightly thinner on the stainless steel and there's a little bit more flex to it. Now if there's a little bit more flex, it allows you to actually put pressure on things, particularly when you're puttying up with the linseed oil putties, to smooth over surfaces. But what I've done with mine, I get some sandpaper, and over a period of time these start to wear. So that thickness of blade you can see there, I'll get my nail against it, you can see how thick it is. That's a good 1 millimeter, a little bit more thickness. I get that, so it is actually started to wear down and it goes thinner. Once that starts going thinner, it actually goes more flexible, like a stripping knife, which does make it a lot easier to use and work with. That at the moment is a little bit sharp for me, so what I would do is get some sandpaper and try and sand it down. And yes, this is stainless steel, it's not going to sand down very easy, but you can start shaping it. And as anybody would know, things do wear, and over a period of time you will find that this will actually mould to a certain shape. Now, if you see the one my father's got of years ago, it is nearly rounded all the way around like a spoon end, and he uses it for stripping paint off with a heat gun, a blow lamp, because it has got to a nice shape that allows him to get into mouldings. And obviously you've got your convex shape there. A concave would be going in, convex goes out. So yes, this is what you call a proper traditional stiff putty knife, and it is a 1.5 inch on a 38mm, but as you use that you will find it will wear. So these are the 5 tools that I'm mentioning now. I'll make it clear, you can get these filling knives and chisels and stripping knives all in different sizes. Please purchase the ones that suit your needs, but as a set of 5, these are very handy to have as your basic implements, tools to start painting and decorating. And I'm going to go, there's something we're missing, something else that you will need, and I'm reaching over here to get it. Make sure you've got a duster brush. Now this is a Pro Deck duster brush. This is one I use in my studio for dusting things down. I'm going to be a traditionalist and say please don't use old paint brushes. Stick with for every job there's a tool, or for every tool there's a job. This is a proper duster brush. It's softer, it dusts off the surfaces, it gets your cobwebs out of the corners and everything in between. This is what you were requiring if you are doing proper jobs. Don't use a paintbrush, it is not the same sort of bristle. You can see this is starting to go on the edges, but it is still very good. Over a certain period of time, every so many weeks, you might want to just wash it out because there will be a bit of a build-up of dust and dirt in it, but it's not a problem. Wash it out, shake it all out and let it dry, and you've got another good use out of a clean duster brush. Now you can get duster brushes like this, different brands, this Purdy, this again Hamilton. You could probably get own brand duster brushes from places like Dulux and Crown. There's also the knot brushes that look like they're an individual brush set into a stock. The idea with, I'll put a link of a photo in while I'm here, so it'll be in the corner. The idea with a knot brush is that you could actually undo the sections and it would be sectioned off like that. That'd be one knot. There'd be a second knot there and a third knot there. The idea was you could actually remove them and replace them as they wore out. A similar principle was on hanging brushes as well, but I'll say in today's day and age you can get these that are equally as nice and as good, and once they do wear down you can either use them for decorative finish treatments, wash it out. A stumpy brush is quite handy for graining or doing colour wash and things like that, but this is a duster brush and it is for dusting things off. So there we go, I said a quick video. 5 basic tools and a duster brush to set up yourself for painting and decorating. You can't go wrong. And I'm going to say please watch the videos at the end, and again there is a link in the description where you can actually purchase these off my Amazon account if you want to buy these exactly the same or things that are very similar. See you on the next one.